What's good, beautiful people? This is your guy, Tone DeShields II from Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. It has been way too long since I kicked it with my people. It's been about 2 weeks, something like that. And I got to be honest, life has been happening. And I just been taking a lot of time for me, taking time focusing on building, my career, taking time, with the family, friends. It's just been a it's been an amazing past 2 weeks. And, I really don't take these past 2 weeks for granted because I really had an opportunity to just spend time with family. I hope you guys had an amazing 4th of July weekend. Hope it was spectacular for you guys. Hope you guys ate good. Hope you guys slept good. Some of you guys had a long weekend. Even the people that had to work yesterday, even the people that had to work over the weekend, I hope you guys had pleasant shifts. Hope the boss mans or the boss ladies didn't drill y'all down too bad. But these past 2 weeks, like I said, been in my you guys, and don't take it personal. It's one of those things like family is so important to me. Family is one of those things that I put before anything. I put my wife before anything. I put my family before anything, and I just been taking so much time these past couple weeks just to focus on me, focusing on my mind, my body, my spirit. Been working out way more, been, been trying to eat better. But sometimes it's so hard to eat well when the family cooking is on a whole nother level, man. And I've been getting a lot of good hometown family cooking, spending a lot of time with family, laughing a lot, just enjoying the people around me. And I don't take it for granted, and neither should y'all. Like I said, I hope you guys had a great weekend. Some of you guys probably went down to the shore. I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. Hope y'all was able to get y'all feet in the sand. You know what I mean? Really appreciate you guys. And I don't take you guys for granted either. Let me make that clear. I don't take you guys for granted because, time and time again, you guys continue to bounce back and support me like I never left. And I don't care if I'm talking to one person, 2 people, 4 people, 8 people, 16 people. I don't care how many people. I don't care how many people I'm talking to. This is how I'm rocking, and I'm giving y'all that same energy. It don't matter to me. It's irrelevant how many people you're talking to, as long as somebody listening, and you guys continue to listen. Like I said, man, these past couple weeks, I've been just taking time for me, family, getting my home in order. I got a busy weekend coming up, and life's been good. Life's been good. But let's get into some Eagles talk, man, because even though it's the off season, we always find new things to talk about. We always find new storylines. We always create narratives. We always find unique ways to discuss our favorite team, and that is the Philadelphia Eagles. Or whatever your team is, right? I don't care if you a Chargers fan or a Chiefs fan or a Broncos fan. I don't care if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I don't care what fan you are. We rocking, and you're getting football talk here. And it's always going to come back to the Philadelphia Eagles. As y'all can see, I'm carrying it strong. You dig what I'm saying? So let's hop right into it. I was doing some thinking lately, these past couple weeks, and specifically, over the weekend, I was doing some thinking. And I was thinking about how the Philadelphia Eagles have done football these past several years. I've thought about how the Eagles have approached building their teams over the past 20 years. And I've stayed in that window. I've stayed from the year 2000 up until now. Think about your Philadelphia Eagles for the past 22 seasons. Think about them for a moment. And think about how they've won, how they've historically been dominant, right? Think about how they've gotten the job done, the type of offenses they ran, who the coaches was, who was on the roster, personnel decisions, all that kind of stuff. Think about your Philadelphia Eagles for the past 22 years, if you could think that far back. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles historically have been a run-first offense, specifically in the past 20-plus years. We have historically been a run-first team. You think about all the running backs we've had in our history. LaShawn McCoy, Brian Westbrook, Deuce Staley. Those are the three names that come to mind right away, right? And think about the talent at the running back position. And I want you to compare that talent to the wide receiver position over the past 22 seasons. I want y'all to follow me here. Think about the running back talent we've had over the past 22 years, and then consider the wide receiver talent we've had over the past 22 years. You can make an argument that the running back talent has historically and has always overshadowed the wide receiver talent, right? Like I said, let's think about it from this perspective. We're going to go running back by running back, and we're going to talk about the players or the wide receivers that they were surrounded by. Let's start with the Brian Westbrook, Deuce Staley eras. They had guys like Ty Pinkston, Freddie Mitchell, James Thrash, Jason Avant. Those are guys that come to mind right away. And when you compare the talent at the wide receiver position during that time to the running back position during that time, the running back position had more talent, had a more talented lead guy. And also, those running backs were used in the passing game as well. You know what I'm saying? So, again, the running back talent superseded the wide receiver talent. Historically, we've been a run-first team, a team that relied heavily on our running backs. Now, you can bring up the Terrell Owens era, right? Or the Terrell Owens moment, I guess you'll say. Terrell Owens was with us for not even a full season if you want to count all the games combined, right? I don't know. Terrell Owens was barely here. He was like a flash. He was like a cloud. It just shifted on you. It just came. It was here, then it was gone. So that was short-lived. You take it a step further, and you think about the LaShawn McCoy era. Who were the wide receivers surrounding LaShawn McCoy? You had Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin, Riley Cooper. I think Jordan Matthews bled into that era as well, if I'm not mistaken. LaShawn McCoy is easily the most talented person I mentioned just now. Once again, the running back position supersedes the wide receiver position in terms of talent. And again, the running backs were always used in the passing game, most notably the screen game. The Philadelphia Eagles used to have one of the most dominant screen games under Andy Reid. Let's take it a step further. The LeGarrette Blount, Jay Ajayi moment. We had those guys for about, I think, a season or two, right? Short-lived. The Super Bowl window for us. LeGarrette Blount, Jay Ajayi versus Alshon Jeffrey, Torrey Smith, and Nelson Aguilar. Again, in my humble opinion, most of the talent, most of the dominance was in the running back room. During that Super Bowl run, we were led by the running game. The running game allowed us to dominate in the play action, allowed us to have a lot of third and short situations. The running game was the motor to that historic Super Bowl run. So again, the running back talent superseded the wide receiver talent. Like I'm saying to you guys, historically, we've been a run-first team. People ask why. I just told you why. The talent at the running back room has always superseded or overshadowed the wide receiver room. Let's take it a step further. The brief Sanders window, and Miles Sanders is still on the team. We'll see if that remains after this season or even by the trade deadline. But Miles Sanders, when he first got here, Alshon Jeffrey, who was on the decline, J-Jaw, who gave us nothing, Jalen Reagor, who's given us nothing, Greg Ward, and guys like that. Miles Sanders is easily the most talented guy I've just mentioned. So once again, the running game, the talent in the running back room overshadows the wide receiver room. That is why the Philadelphia Eagles have been a run-first team historically. Now, you can make an argument and say, well, Andy Reid is more so a passing head coach. We had Donovan McNabb. He used to sling it, but Donovan McNabb didn't complete 60% of his passes until about his 5th or 6th season. For his career, he's only completed about 59, 60% of his passes. Has only thrown for over 4,000 yards only one time in his career. We've never been a pass-heavy team. We've always relied on our running backs to really lead the way. I bring all this up to say this is the first time that I could think of in the past 22 years where the wide receiver talent clearly supersedes the running back talent. I want to know if you guys agree. Because you think about A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Quez Watkins, just those 3 guys alone, they're significantly more talented than Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, and Kenny Gainwell combined. Significantly. This is the first time in a long time we've had more talent at the wide receiver position than the running back position. And we got these wide receivers under contract for the next 3 to 4 years minimum. So that begs the question, can the Philadelphia Eagles become a high-powered or high-motor passing offense? Can we build this high-motor passing attack with Jalen Hurts? His play alone will decide that. Of course, Nick Sirianni and Shane Steichen are going to have to call some plays that are beneficial and that can help the team move forward. But can Jalen Hurts be the catalyst behind a high-powered passing offensive attack? Has he shown that since being in the NFL? Not quite yet. Now, look, hear me out on this. This is not a Jalen Hurts bashing session. This is not what it is. I want you guys to understand the full scope of what we're dealing with here. I want you guys to truly dissect and take in what we've been historically. What have we been historically? A run-pass team. Only 2 quarterbacks have thrown for over 4,000 yards. Carson Wentz and Donovan McNabb. And it's only happened twice out of the past 22 seasons. We have not had a high-powered passing offense. Yet Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie have been camping for this. They want this. They're yearning for this. Elite quarterback play is not easy to come by. There are only about maybe 4 or 5 elite quarterbacks in this NFL. Maybe 3 to 4. Then everyone else is very good and great or whatever you want to do, however you want to differentiate it. But there's maybe only about maybe 4 or 5 elite guys that no matter how that roster looks, you're in a game. No matter how bad the offensive line is, you're in the game. No matter how bad the defense is, they're going to keep you in the game. There's not many quarterbacks in the NFL that are built like that. There are more quarterbacks in the NFL that require talent around them to be successful. And that's where Jalen Hurts is right now in his career. Do I believe Jalen Hurts can be elite? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Has he shown me signs that he can be elite? No, he has not. There are still flaws in his game. He still has a lot of room to improve. But will I put a cap on his success? Will I put a cap on how good he can be? Hell no. Because people have surprised you before. There are many people who have beat the odds. There are many people who have silenced the doubters. Do I believe Jalen Hurts can silence the doubters? Yes. Do I believe he can keep them quiet? Maybe. How great can Jalen Hurts be? I'm unsure. Will he improve? Absolutely. How much is the question? How much will Jalen Hurts improve? How much can Jalen Hurts carry this team? You see, I'm looking for Jalen Hurts in situational football. I'm looking at him in situations. There are going to be moments where the Philadelphia Eagles are down double digits in the 4th quarter. Those moments will come, whether we like it or not, whether we want to accept it or not. There are going to be moments where the Philadelphia Eagles are down 14, maybe 10 points maybe 13, maybe 17 points in the fourth quarter. Will Jalen Hurts be good enough to be able to will his team back? Because you can't run your way out of that situation. You got to pass your way out. And of course, defense has to step up and get stops so the quarterback can actually bring you back. There are so many moving parts in a situation like that. But if you're down by a touchdown, if you're down by 10 points, 8 minutes left on the clock, you need a quick score. Can Jalen Hurts be that guy to do that? You have the talent to do so. You have the wide receivers, the tight ends. You have the offensive line to do so. But can Jalen Hurts propel his team to a comeback victory? His mentality tells me yes. Will his talent match the mentality? That is the underlying question that has yet to be answered. We have people out here that are blindly believing in Jalen Hurts. I can't blindly believe in him yet. I got faith in him. I want him to be successful. I'm rooting for his success, but I can't just turn the blinders on and say, Jalen Hurts, go. I can't do that yet. I can't. And I don't want that to be an indictment on him. I think we all can sit here and say, I think a rational mind can sit here and say, you know what? Jalen Hurts has a lot to improve on. I have faith that he will improve. How much he will improve, I'm unsure, but I want him to be great. I want him to be successful. I want him to be the starting quarterback of this team. He just has to prove it. I think that's a rational take. I think that's rational. I think that's fair. I think if you had a conversation with Jalen Hurts, he would say that's fair. As long as you're not dogging him, as long as you're not disrespecting him, you know what I'm saying? I think it's fair to say Jalen Hurts has had highs in his league. He's had lows in his league. Does he have more to prove? Yes. Can he be the quarterback of the future? Sure. Will he improve? Yeah. How much? We don't know. We got to talk about the game in context. Let's talk about it. He brought a team that was projected to only win 4 games. The NFL, sports pundits, analysts, color commentators, whoever you want to call, journalists, they said the Eagles will only win 4 games last year or last season. Only 4 games. Jalen Hurts willed that team to 9 victories. 9. Now, he was hurt one of the games. He didn't play the last game, so he played a total of 15 games last year. He willed that team to 8 victories. He went 8-7 as a starting quarterback. The team went 9-8. But his energy permeated through the roster. You dig what I'm saying? He willed that team to a 9-8 record. He willed that team to the playoffs. You dig what I'm saying? That's nothing to sneeze at. I don't care who we played. The record was the record. Y'all said we was going to lose those games. So don't try to change the narrative. When you said we were going to lose those games, people had us at 4 wins, 5 wins, 3 wins. People said we would be bottom of the barrel in the NFC East. Well, no one's bottom of the barrel except for the Giants. But you get my point. No one expected Jalen Hurts to do anything. No one expected that team to win more than 4 games. But they did it. Yet people want to change the narrative on Jalen Hurts. That's funny. That's funny money. I'm not buying that. You knew the record. You knew who was playing. And you still said 4 games. Miss me with that. But the record or the schedule this season is more favorable. The schedule this year is significantly more favorable for the Philadelphia Eagles. What they will do with that schedule remains to be seen. It all remains to be seen. You know? But here's something that we got to discuss as well. Here's something we got to talk about because the Philadelphia Eagles think they slick. The Howie Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles think they slick. They want us to forget that they was ready to move on from Hurts. They was ready to give up the farm for Russell Wilson. They was ready to give up the farm for Deshaun Watson. If Aaron Rodgers wanted out, they would have given up the farm for him. The Eagles were ready to make a big move for a quarterback, and they want us to forget that. They want us to forget that Jalen Hurts was almost finito. He was almost out the door. But to make up for that, they made moves to build around him, right? But clearly the Philadelphia Eagles believed that they needed an upgrade at the position. Will Jalen Hurts upgrade his talent, upgrade his skill, upgrade his production? Remains to be seen. But the Eagles felt they needed upgraded quarterback play. Now, what kind of upgrade? That's a big what? That's a big question. What kind of upgrade? You know, Baker Mayfield is currently being shopped right now by the Cleveland Browns. Am I a Baker Mayfield fan? Not really. Not really at all. Do I like his mentality, his approach to leadership in the game? Not really. Is Baker Mayfield a talented quarterback? Sure. He's talented. But do I believe Baker Mayfield is better than Jalen Hurts? Interesting. It's interesting to discuss. I'm honestly, if you want to take Baker Mayfield's career in totality, you can say he is better than Jalen Hurts. One can argue that. But will I take Baker Mayfield over Jalen Hurts? No. Who do I trust with my franchise more? Jalen Hurts. Is Baker Mayfield significantly better than Jalen Hurts? Hell no. It's like a hair to me. It's like a split hair. But because Baker Mayfield has been in the league for a bit longer, he took his team to the playoffs at least once. He beat who did he beat in the playoffs? Was it the Steelers or the Chiefs? Who was it that he beat? He went toe to toe with somebody. Can't remember who it was. Can I remember for the life of me who it was? But, you know, bottom line is Baker Mayfield, he's completing 61% of his passes for his career. His best year was his best year from a completion percentage perspective was his rookie year. His best year from a record perspective was 2020. You know, it was a good year. It was a good year for him. But overall, I don't believe Baker Mayfield is significantly better than Jalen Hurts. I don't believe that. Do I believe the Eagles should even consider Baker Mayfield? Hell no. And obviously they're not going to do that. But, you know, I think it's just something to talk about, like comparing Jalen Hurts to his peers. You know, I think Jalen Hurts can surpass Baker Mayfield this year. That's what I firmly believe. But Jalen Hurts' success is something that's really contingent on a lot. And there are a lot of people whose careers, whose jobs are on the line because of Jalen Hurts. Not because Jalen Hurts is terrible. He's not terrible. But we need to talk about this. The fact that Nick Sirianni, being a young head coach, how much leeway will he get if Jalen Hurts succeeds or doesn't succeed? More so if he doesn't succeed. How much will that go on Nick Sirianni? How much pressure will be on Nick Sirianni if Hurts doesn't succeed? Will Nick Sirianni be given the opportunity to actually coach up another quarterback if Jalen Hurts isn't the guy? You dig what I'm saying? Like, there is something about when you are the head coach and there's a quarterback on the roster that you didn't draft. Remember, Jalen Hurts is not technically Nick Sirianni's guy. He didn't draft him. Howie Roseman and Doug Pearson did. You dig what I'm saying? Howie Roseman and Doug drafted Jalen Hurts, not Nick Sirianni. So if Jalen Hurts fails, are we looking at Nick Sirianni? If he succeeds, are we looking at Nick Sirianni? I feel like you can't have it both ways, right? You know, you can't have your cake and eat it too. If he succeeds, you can't give Nick Sirianni credit. And if he fails, like, you can't give Nick Sirianni, like, you can't just have it both ways, like, but it's a very nuanced conversation because I don't believe Nick Sirianni should be held accountable fully if Jalen Hurts isn't the guy because he didn't draft him. But also, it's up to you to coach him up to the best of your ability. It's up to you to draft, to coach him up to the best of your ability. And if you can't do that, sometimes guys tap out. Sometimes guys max out. They bottom out. Like they can't. Sometimes there's only so much you can do with a guy. And I like Nick Sirianni as a head coach. He's shown that he's capable of adapting. He's shown self-awareness as a head coach. He's shown a willingness to learn and grow. You know what I mean? So I trust Nick Sirianni can actually improve as a head coach. How good can he be? That all remains to be seen. And Candy brought up a good point. Sirianni went through 2 drafts without drafting a quarterback. He went through 2 drafts. So if Howie Roseman decides to move him from Nick Sirianni and he didn't even get a chance to pick his quarterback, I think that'd be a bit unfair. And that's only if Jalen Hurts is not the guy. That's only if he's not the guy. Let's get some shout-outs out the way real quick. Shout out to my man Anthony Dwayne. What's going on? Shout out to my man Shockey. Mitch Kovsky. What's going on, my man? Ryan Rowe. Chaos the Filthy. What's up? Nina Austin. What's going on? Kyle Donovan. What's going on, my guy? Rafiki. What's going on? Shane Butler. Michi. Rock the Artist. What's going on, you guys? Really appreciate all the love and support you guys give, as always. But yeah, it's something to think about. It's definitely something to think about. Nick Sirianni, is his future linked? Is he tied at the hip to Jalen Hurts? I would like to say no. I believe if things did go south with Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni would be allowed to see it through with another quarterback. I believe that. I do believe that. Because Nick Sirianni because Jalen Hurts is Howie Roseman's guy. That's just the reality of it. That's just my thought process. But you guys, I just had some thoughts to get off my chest. I'm so glad to be back with you guys. I'm going to be back here tomorrow with you guys, kicking it for another live stream. I just wanted to touch base with you guys and let you guys know you aren't forgotten. I appreciate all the love and support. You guys have really been holding me down, and I do not take it for granted. I know a lot of you guys got a little nervous about Miles Sanders talking about the All-Star team stuff. I'm sorry, Miles Sanders got to fall back because he got a lot to prove for his career alone. Don't start talking about All-Star team when you're not even an All-Star or Pro Bowl player yet. Miles Sanders says you have to make a Pro Bowl. He's talking about an All-Star team. Now, does Miles Sanders have Pro Bowl talent? Yeah, sure. Can he stay healthy? We'll find out. 2 years in a row, he only played 12 games. I don't want to hear him talking about an All-Star team. I'm glad A.J. Brown walked it back and said, look, man, I like the confidence, but we're not an All-Star team. Not yet, at least. We got to prove that every single day, every single Sunday. We got to prove that. We never far from an All-Star team yet. Do I think we got potential to be there? For sure. But we're not an All-Star team yet. And I really love A.J. Brown's approach to the season. He's been real humble. He's been real modest. He's been keeping his head down, focusing on the work. And training camp is almost here, you guys. I think we're about what, like 15 to 20 days, something like that, away from training camp. This is going to be an exciting season, you guys. And I can't wait to get to an Eagles game. I can't wait to run into some of you guys. It's going to be really exciting. It's going to be really dope. You guys are some of the dopest fans, some of the dopest supporters in football. And I believe the Philadelphia Eagles are going to really make a lot of noise this year. I think we're going to be more than competitive. I think we're going to be dangerous. When you have a top 10, when you have a top 5 and a top 5 offensive line and a top 10 defensive line and arguably a top 12, top 10 roster in totality, oh yeah, people should be nervous. People should be nervous. When you have a top 5 wide receiver core, when you have a top 10 D line, top 5 offensive line, top a top 10 cornerback tandem. You know what I mean? Like, how can you hate on this team? It's near impossible. But they got to prove it every single day. They got to put the X to the grinder. You know, they got to put their foot on the pavement and keep trekking forward. They got to propel themselves. They can't allow themselves to get too big headed. You know, we got to let this thing pan out. And it's straight like that, you guys. Look, I'm out of here. I'm gonna catch up with y'all in a little bit. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II from Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe if you're new to the content. If you guys are watching this live stream after the fact, make sure you guys comment below. I want to know you guys' thoughts on everything I talked about. Is Nick Sirianni's future linked to Jalen Hurts? You dig what I'm saying? How would the Philadelphia Eagles be when it comes to being a high-power passing attack? We out of here, you guys.